Maybe it falls to you now, Melania. You can end this reign of terror, and all you have to do is channel your inner Taylor Swift and walk out the door.
Is only looking at Trump, yet Joe Biden took massive amounts more documents.
Trump hears some demonstrably false nonsense from some crank guest on Fox and tweets it out as fact.
Did you hear about Trump's latest meltdown? It wasn't over politics, the economy, or even his legal troubles. Nope, it was all because a comedian dared to joke about his trophy wife walking out on him. Curious about how a few laughs could send the former president into a tizzy? You're in the right place. We're about to spill the tea on why Trump's reaction to this comedy roast is more telling than you might think. Trump's ego is about as sturdy as his comb-over in a hurricane. While presidents have always been easy targets for comedians, our former commander-in-chief takes jokes more personally than a cat takes a bath. Remember when Trump threatened to sue Saturday Night Live? That's right, he wanted to take legal action against a comedy show. It's like trying to sue a mirror for making you look bad.
Toss his boxy clown suits on the front lawn. Just tell him, I'm leaving you and I'm taking our child. He would be stunned.
Those people in North Carolina, those are incredible people. Those are incredible patriots. You want freedom? Take pride in your country.
His Twitter tantrums over late-night jokes were legendary. One minute he'd be tweeting about presidential harassment. The next he'd be calling Alec Baldwin's impression of him unwatchable. Talk about a man who can dish it out but can't take it. Trump's pettiest responses to comedians are comedy gold themselves. He once called Jon Stewart overrated and suggested he go back to using his birth name because nothing says I'm not bothered like digging up someone's personal history, right? And let's not forget the time he tweeted that Alex Baldwin's career was dying. Apparently getting the name wrong was supposed to be the ultimate burn.
It's not anti-feminist to say that in addition to doing everything men can do intellectually, women also have another power. The power of the ultimatum.
When the last guy was here, you were shipping jobs to China. Now we're bringing jobs home from China.
Unlike other presidents who could laugh at themselves, Trump's skin is thinner than the excuses for his tax returns. While Obama was cracking jokes at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Trump was probably at home, angrily eating KFC and plotting revenge tweets. But here's where it gets juicy. Bill Maher recently joked about Melania leaving Trump, and boy, did that hit a nerve. It's like Maher found the self-destruct button on Trump's ego and pushed it with both hands. Why?
In the ancient Greek play Lysistrata, women end a war by denying sex to their men. It was the original Bush doctrine.
So what if he wants to grab pussy? I want to grab pussy. I wish I could grab as much pussy as he is.
Because joking about Melania walking out isn't just attacking Trump's image, it's threatening the very foundation of his carefully constructed world. Think about it, Trump's whole brand is being a winner with a trophy wife. It's like a house of cards, and Maher just pulled out the bottom card labeled Melania. No wonder Trump's throwing a hissy fit that would make a toddler blush. So why does a joke about his marriage bother Trump more than other insults? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to dig into the fragile psyche of the man who thinks stable genius is a compliment people actually use.
That the endless campaign exists only to enrich advertisers, political consultants, and what's left of the news media.
Had a fling with Stormy Daniels.
And paid her $130,000.
Hush money, yes.
And you're voting for him.
I am.
Speaking of Trump's fragile psyche, there's another player in this comedy of errors we haven't talked about yet. Remember Melania, the first lady who looked like she'd rather be anywhere else? Well, her silent treatment might be louder than Trump's Twitter rants. Let's take a peek behind the golden curtain and see who's really pulling the strings.
President Hellboy has proved to be impervious to facts, reason, shame, and the law.
The American dream is dead.
Melania's role as Trump's trophy wife isn't just about looking pretty on his arm. It's a crucial part of his whole winner image. But lately, it seems like Melania is not too keen on playing her part. Remember when she swatted away Trump's hand during a photo op? That wasn't just a little oopsie. It was like watching a real-life soap opera where the leading lady suddenly decides she's had enough of the script. And it's not just hand-holding that's giving Trump trouble. Melania's eyes often have this get me out of here look that's harder to ignore than Trump's hair on a windy day. It's like she's silently screaming help in designer sunglasses. These moments of Melania looking like she'd rather be anywhere else are more than just funny memes. They're chipping away at Trump's carefully built image faster than his spray tan fades.
So far, over a dozen Republican candidates tried to stop Trump and couldn't. Hillary couldn't. Never Trumpers couldn't. Mueller couldn't.
As you know, I've come here from New York, where I'm being forced to endure a Biden show trial, all done by Biden.
Here's the kicker. In politics, a strong family image is as important as kissing babies and pretending to like local cuisine. It's the secret sauce that makes voters think, hey, if he can run a family, maybe he can run a country. But with Melania looking about as happy as a cat in a bathtub, Trump's family man image is shakier than his grasp on reality. Now imagine if Melania actually packed her Louis Vuitton bags and left. It wouldn't just be a personal blow to Trump's ego, which, let's face it, needs all the propping up it can get.
Have no first language. I hope I inspire little girls everywhere to marry for money.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
No, it could potentially tank his whole political career. Those evangelical voters who've been turning a blind eye to Trump's, let's say, colorful past, they might start questioning if he's really the stable family values guy they thought he was. Statistics show that divorce rates among politicians can really mess up their careers. The public starts seeing them differently and not in a oh poor guy kind of way. For Trump, whose whole brand is about winning, a high-profile divorce would be like admitting he lost the biggest game of his life. It's enough to make you wonder if Melania's stilettos are actually the legs holding up Trump's entire political future.
You're married to the man who made Brexit happen. The man who got Trump elected and keeps his base ignorant.
She's a world-class liar. Just look at her pathetic email server statement.
But hey, maybe this is all just wishful thinking from Trump's critics. After all, predicting what'll happen in the Trump circus is about as easy as understanding his Covfefe tweet. One thing's for sure, though, Trump's reaction to jokes about Melania leaving proves that sometimes the biggest threat to his ego might be wearing designer heels and a permanent frown.
Getting men to change their destructive ways by threatening to leave them, humiliate them, or cut them off in bed, it's a tale as old as time.
If he says it, then I'll go with it, and if he wants to be a dictator, then so be it.
So, there you have it, folks. Trump's ego might just be the biggest threat to his own success. It's like watching a reality show where the star keeps sabotaging himself, but instead of getting voted off the island, he's trying to run a country. Next time you see Trump react to a joke, pay attention.
You despise his creepy little monkey fingers touching your hand.
It is very sad that Joe Biden is clearly a dementia patient.
It's not just entertainment, it's a peek into the mind of a man who can't take a laugh. And let's be real, in politics, if you can't laugh at yourself, you're gonna end up being the punchline. Maybe what Trump really needs isn't another spray tan or a new toupee, it's a sense of humor transplant. Imagine if he could take a joke as well as he takes credit for things he didn't do. Now that would be something worth tweeting about.